Hi everyone and welcome back to Bonnie Astrology. Today we're discussing the new moon in Aries happening on March 21st, 2023 and what it means for your zodiac sign. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for regular astrology updates if you'd like. And if you do want to book a private reading with me, the information is listed in the description. So this new moon is incredibly fresh. It is happening just one day after the spring equinox. So we are welcoming in Aries season, the astrological new year and the spring in the northern hemisphere. This is a wonderful time for new beginnings, to initiate something new boldly, to have the confidence to go after something you would like to have in your life, to align with your own personal values and goals and say, I can do this. Aries is a very bold and very confident, independent sign. So when we have a new moon in Aries, the goal is to go after something that we want, because Aries is the I am energy of the zodiac. So who are you and who do you want to be and what do you want? This new moon is a time to decide that. It's particularly fresh because it's happening at 0 degrees of Aries, meaning that it's happening within the first degree of the Aries cycle. This is particularly poignant because in a month's time, on the 20th of April, we will have a new moon solar eclipse in Aries in the final degree. So this Aries season, with these two new moons bookending Aries season, this Aries season is going to be about doors opening, but also doors closing. Because with the anaretic degree and the fact that Pluto is aspecting both new moons, there is a sense of closing out old chapters, old stories. This new moon is particularly interesting because it's ruled by Mars, and Mars is then moving into Cancer. I think it's 2 days after this new moon, and or maybe 3 days after this new moon. No, it's 2 days after this new moon. And Mars moving signs is significant because Mars was in retrograde, having moved into Gemini in August 2022. That's how long Mars has been in the one sign because of the retrograde cycle. So we're ushering in new Mars energy as well with this new moon that is ruled by Mars. And Mars is actually squaring this new moon. So there's a sense of tension, this push, this initiative to pursue something new because maybe you're not so satisfied with the way things have been, or the Mars retrograde cycle has made you aware of what isn't working and you want to try something new. And it's a great time to try something new. The sextile to Pluto means that we are supported in transforming and making changes. The conjunction to Mercury brings in this sense of thinking and doing, understanding that you need to take action on your thoughts to make them happen. But it's also conjunct Neptune quite loosely, meaning that it's not incredibly clear, but you don't have to know the whole journey, just the first step. So this new moon is a wonderful time for new beginnings. It's very supported and it's quite destined, because Venus is actually conjunct the North Node in Taurus, meaning that there might be new beginnings when it comes to our relationships, destined encounters, fated meetings, fated romances, soulmates. There might also be new beginnings when it comes to finances, when it comes to the economy, new directions, new. This is a very new energy. And as I said, the next new moon is going to be in Aries. It's also going to be a solar eclipse. And solar eclipses usually bring about fated events. They can bring about endings which initiate new beginnings. And that eclipse is a hybrid eclipse, which is really rare. So there is a lot of shifts happening. So if you're very sensitive to the energy, you might feel a bit anxious, a bit on edge. You might feel a bit confused. You're just like, wait, what's going to happen next? And it's not totally clear, but you're likely kind of clear, or you're probably very clear on at least one thing that you want to begin, or one thing that is beginning around this new moon. It's also kind of cute because this is happening on a Tuesday, and Tuesday is ruled by Mars. So it kind of adds to this message of bravery and courage and confidence to initiate something new, to try something new and to do something differently. But just for now, realize that we're ushering in a new era altogether. Pluto is sextiling this new moon. Pluto is going to shift into Aquarius 2 days after. So Pluto moving into a sign is incredibly significant for us collectively because Pluto hasn't moved signs since 2008. Think back to 2008, what was going on in your life, because that can give you some kind of clue to what karmic chapter is being wrapped up here, what soul contract is being wrapped up here. And it's ushering in a new beginning entirely for us all. So do pay attention to what was going on around 2008. We know on a world level, it was the financial crash, and of course finances are a pretty big discussion at the moment. And I can bet with the Venus true node conjunction, it's going to be quite impactful around this new moon as well, especially with Pluto changing signs and moving into Aquarius. This is ushering in a new era. It also might usher in new heroes, new leaders, new people in positions of authority, new power, new individuals. Probably there's a focus on who's brave, who's courageous, and who has the courage to be themselves. In the sign of Aries, it's being bold and authentic of who you are. It's the sign of identity. So how we want to show up to the world. And a lot of life is about creating the self. So you might find around this time you want to embrace a new style, you want to embrace new clothing, a new way of presenting yourself, a new way of living, and something that just feels like a very new chapter that might not necessarily have made sense to you a year ago, might not necessarily have made sense to you 6 months ago, but it makes sense to you now. It's very clear. You're going to know what you want with this new moon. So shall we get into the tarot and draw a card for this new moon to get some further insight into what it means for all of us? I think we should. I'm going to use the tarot instead of the oracle this time because it's a very blunt, direct new moon, and I feel like the tarot is just that little bit more direct as a message. So I cannot remember the name of this. I feel like it's the Gilded Tarot, but it came with a guidebook very long ago. It's just basically the tarot, but let's have a little look and see what's the collective energy of this new moon in Aries, March 21st, 2023. Spring has sprung. Let me know in the comments what your intentions are. If you would like to share, of course, if they're private, feel free to keep them to yourself. But if there's something you want to call into your life, if there's something you're finally having the courage to begin, the bravery to begin, the boldness to ask, the boldness to say, let me know. Let's see what this new moon in Aries is. Oh, Queen of Wands. I love this because this is so fire sign. This is about being bold, being creative, having the passion, having the drive, having the energy to go after what it is that you want to do or to pursue something, to be something. It's very confident, very bold. It's very, it's filled with passion. So whatever it is that you're starting around this time, it's going to be based on passion. I also love that we have the Four of Wands underneath, which is associated with Aries season. This Four of Wands can be a wonderful time with Venus conjunct the North Node in Taurus, a wonderful time for relationships, for commitments. So for some people, this can be meeting someone who is a big part of their destiny romantically. For other people, it can be taking a big step in their relationship, especially because we're headed towards the Aries Libra eclipses, which is the relationship axis. So I think for a lot of people, there's going to be significant encounters, fated meetings. Underneath that, we have the Knight of Cups. I feel with this, there could be a lot of engagements. People could meet the person they're going to marry or have a long-term relationship with, especially because the Venus North Node conjunction is very close to Juno, which is the spouse, which is also in Taurus. So there's this Venus-Juno North Node conjunction, meaning people could be aligning with the person they're meant to marry. There could be a lot of engagements. There could be a lot of new beginnings in relationships. 10 of Pentacles is underneath new homes, that kind of thing. Big focus on relationships around the time of this new moon. Don't forget, Venus adores being in Taurus, so it is quite a nice time for love and relationships. But with this Queen of Wands, sometimes relationships can only begin because one person has the courage to go after them. So be brave around this time, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. Let's get into what this means for each of the zodiac signs. Timestamps are listed below. As usual, I suggest watching your rising, but you're grown. You can do what you want. You can watch your moon, you can watch your sun, whatever takes your fancy. Each one's going to get a card. So even if you do watch your rising for the astrology, have a little look at your sun and your moon as well for the tarot. I hope you all have a beautiful new moon in Aries, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Aries, sun, moon, and rising. Welcome to the new moon in your sign, the new moon in your first house if you're Aries rising. So Aries, happy birthday for Aries season. What a season to have. It is bookended by a new moon in your sign and then another new moon in your sign, which happens to be a solar eclipse, a hybrid solar eclipse, incredibly rare. So this is a particularly important season for you. It's going to bring in new changes. It's going to bring in new beginnings, and of course, endings. One door closes, another one opens. We'll get more into that in the solar eclipse video, but for now, this new moon is about initiating something new. It's opening a door, very personal to you, but it does feel like transformations you're making when it comes to the self, when it comes to your, perhaps your appearance, your physical body, your aesthetic, the clothes you wear, the way you do your hair, your perfume, your shoes, heck, even your underwear. Whatever it is that how you dress your avatar, how you style your avatar is likely to change under this particular new moon, Aries. This is going to be a time where you're having some kind of glow up, where you're having some kind of change. Maybe you've had the same hairstyle for a very long time, you're finally changing it. Say it was super long, you're cutting it a bit short, or you're growing it out, or you're dyeing it a different color. I feel for a lot of you, this could be leaning into Aries aesthetics, so you could be deciding you're wearing more red, more fiery tones. You could even be doing your hair red or something like that. So it's kind of leaning into the Aries energy. There's a square from your ruler Mars to this new moon, meaning you're feeling very driven, you're feeling very determined to make something happen. And this might be spurred on by conversations with other people, maybe siblings, maybe neighbors, maybe cousins, or just generally conversations. The sextile to Pluto is supporting these transformations that you're making, and you could be getting support from people like parents or bosses or your career, or perhaps even your social networks, your friendships, your teams. But it's so about you, Aries, that I don't think it matters so much what other people think. It's more about what you want. You're getting very in touch with your needs this Aries season, your wants, your desires, your personal goals, who you're becoming and how you're showing up to the world. You know, you're wrapping up a chapter of how you're seen professionally and how the world does view you. So this is the perfect time for some kind of makeover, some sort of new way of approaching life, new way of doing life. It's just very much a new start for you all together, Aries, pursuing the life that you want. And with it being so fresh at 0 degrees, it's like clean slate, new era, new chapter, new way of living, new life, new people, new image, new goals, new desires, new dreams. And it's a very exciting time for you, Aries, especially because the eclipse coming up, and as I say, I will have a video on that, but the eclipse coming up is going to usher in destined changes in your life, destined new beginnings, destined encounters, destined events. The North Node going through your sign is very exciting, whether you're a sun, moon, or rising in Aries, it is exciting. I look back to the time, I'm a Scorpio sun, I have a Scorpio stellium in my chart, and I remember the North Node going through Scorpio and the events, it was amazing. Just so many destined things happened. You know, you really feel like you're living, I think, when the North Node goes through your sign. So that's happening from July, but you will notice with the eclipse, the changes and the themes that are showing up for you, Aries. Let's see what your card is. 3 of Cups. There's a lot to celebrate. I feel a lot of you are going to be surrounded by people who love you, people who want to hang out with you, who want to be with you. You're very popular. There's a lot of invitations. Maybe you're having one hell of a birthday party, Aries. You're in the mood to celebrate. And people are in the mood to celebrate with you. So that is what I have for you, Aries. I hope you have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the new moon in Aries. Taurus, I will not lie to you. This new moon is kind of quiet for you. It's in your 12th house. So this is very related to your inner world, this new beginning that's happening. You might be starting something behind the scenes you're not telling anybody about. So whether that's that you're writing your bestseller, you're writing a spy novel, or you're going to be starting a goal for yourself that's completely private, or whether you're deciding that you want to spend a little bit more time alone to work through a few things. Whatever it is, Taurus, it feels very private. It feels very behind the scenes. The 12th house is where we go to let go. It's where I've got a hair. There's some hair blocking my eye. It's gone. Okay. The 12th house is where we go to heal. It's where we go to release baggage, where we go to let go. And I recently took a trip to London. It was only for a weekend, but I woke up, it was an early morning flight, and it had snowed exceptionally heavy all night. Really, really heavy snow. So the roads were, it was very slow to get to the airport. There was an accident on the way, and someone else, not me, but there was an accident that had cut off the road. So I ended up getting to the airport, but had missed check-in for the bag. So I couldn't take my checked bag, and I only had a handbag, like a small handbag, so I couldn't take clothes with me. And it was either wait and book another flight with the bag or just go, because I was really late. The flight was going to leave very shortly. The flight ended up being delayed for an hour, and they still wouldn't have taken my bag. But anyway, And I think the general message that I was getting from this was drop the baggage. I feel like it was a really distinctive metaphor from the universe to let go, to drop the baggage, to travel light. When there's a new moon in the 12th house, as you're experiencing, it reminds me a little bit of that. It's like dropping the baggage, committing to dropping the baggage. With the sextile to Pluto, I feel like this is a very healing new moon for you. And you might be deciding you're going to start seeing an actual healer, be that a psychologist, a therapist, a counselor, a breathwork practitioner, a shaman, a Reiki healer, a tarot reader. Whatever it is that gives you that sense of healing, you're really starting some sort of new beginning when it comes to healing your mental health. Maybe you're starting meditating every day from this new moon. The square to Mars in your second house, I feel like you might be feeling a bit frustrated with money. Maybe there's some expenses coming up because the 12th house can be expenses. Maybe you have to make a big purchase or a big payment or something around this time that's making you feel a bit frustrated, Taurus. The cards that came out for you, interestingly, the Knight of Swords came out in reverse, the High Priestess upright. But I don't really read in reversals, although I feel like this is significant. I feel like this is saying trust your intuition rather than rushing into something. New moon's in the 12th house, wonderful time for psychic pursuits, intuitive pursuits, seeing a psychic, working with your own psychic intuitive gifts, whatever, part of that journey you're on. Maybe reading your own cards, maybe seeing a psychic, or maybe just paying attention to the serendipities, and also dream journaling. I feel like it is saying to lead with your intuition rather than rush into anything, Taurus, at this time. New moons in the 12th can be a 2-week period where you feel a bit more introspected and have to spend a little more time alone just to let the energies pass through. But that is what I have for you, Taurus, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the new moon in Aries. So Gemini, this new moon is happening in your 11th house. Anytime someone has a new moon in the 11th house, let alone 2, you're getting 2. Anytime someone has a new moon in the 11th house, I say this is the time to make a wish, to make a vision board of everything you've ever wanted, everything your heart desires, because the 11th house is where wishes tend to happen. So whatever it is that you want to call into your life, Gemini, set the intention. This new moon can also call in new friends, new team members, new teammates. It can call in new projects that you want to work on, new charities, new humanitarian efforts you want to work with, something philanthropic. This can also be a time where you decide to commit to a goal or an aspiration that you really would like to be working on in the future, Gemini. You want to set up your future at this time. So it's a really good time to do like a future-based meditation, to visualize your dream life in 5 years or something like that, focusing on the future, focusing on how you want it to look. With the sextile to Pluto, these kind of transformations are supported, they're favored. The square is, of course, to Mars in your sign. Mars is about to leave your sign and move into your second house, which will be a breath of fresh air. You will feel relieved when Mars has left your house because it's exhausting to have Mars in your first house for such a long time. It can be aggravating. You can get a lot done, you can accomplish a lot, but you can get burnt out just as much. So Mars is going to leave your sign shortly, Gemini, but before it does, it will square this new moon. You yourself are the one doing the pushing, I feel, towards a goal. There's something you feel really fired up about, you feel really inspired to go for. Some of you could potentially clash with a friend and maybe a team, and you're feeling like, oh, they don't share my vision, so I'm going to look for new friends, or something like this. It could be a little bit of tension with a friend around this time, Gemini. There could be a bit of disagreement maybe on what the future looks like, or maybe your vision for yourself. You could just feel a little bit discouraged by someone else, or you could just be feeling like you want to fight for something. I think a lot of you want to fight for a cause, you want to fight for a charity or something like that. So let's have a little shuffle and see what is coming up for you, Gemini, for this new moon in Aries. Queen of Swords, there you are. You're feeling very decisive. You're feeling very like yourself. I also feel with the Devil underneath, you're ready to cut out anything and anyone that is not serving you, anything that feels unhealthy, anything that feels not good for you, not in your highest vibration, Gemini. You're going to be very ruthless in cutting out anything that is toxic at this time. And I also feel as though you are going to be very future focused and very determined to get there. You're using your logic, you're using your skill set, you've got your wits about you. And I also feel, and this came up in, I did a St. Patrick's Day tarot reading for each of the signs on my Twitter, And it came up that for Geminis, one of the blessings is actually that you'll be able to spot somebody that's trying to undercut you before they do so that you're victorious. And that is a blessing because otherwise it could do a bit of damage. I think a lot of you have a very keen intuition on who or what is working against you at this time, and you're going to one-up them. That is what I have for you, Gemini. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the new moon in Aries. Cancer, this new moon is happening in your 10th house of career, professional life, and also your public image and your goals, what you want to be known for. So Cancer, this new moon is looking to me for you like a career start. This might be that you're now pursuing a particular industry. You could be starting your own business. You could be setting the intention to do these things, planting seeds, starting a new project, starting a new branch of your career tree, branching out. You could be starting a new goal for yourself, or you could be pursuing a title. You could be doing something that is going to change your social status, whether that is, changing from Miss to Mrs., or it could be that you're changing from Miss to Doctor or something like this. You could be changing your actual titles around this time, Cancer. That could be something that's going on for you around this new moon. Perhaps you're also getting some sort of credit or something that maybe you're getting a degree and it's going to give you MA behind your name or something like this. It feels as though your public persona and the way that you're being perceived is changing, and you're setting the intentions at this time. So it might not be changing at this new moon, but you might have an idea that you actually want to do something different when it comes to your career. And this is going to be a big theme for you over the next couple of years. As I say, Jupiter is in your 10th house at the moment. The North Node's going to go there in July, but the next new moon in Aries, because you do have two, is going to be a solar eclipse. Your professional life, your career, your goals, changing. The way that the world sees you, changing. So buckle up, Cancer. It's going to be an interesting one whenever you have eclipses in the 10th house. So new beginning when it comes to your career. I feel as though this might be based on trial and error. You might be doing something differently based on your failures because it is squaring Mars. Mars rules your 10th house, but Mars is in your 12th. It's been in your 12th for a long time. Clearing out some gunk, clearing out some stuff that's not working, clearing out some baggage. So I feel as though you're kind of feeling a bit like maybe something has defeated you or it's not gone as well as you wanted, and now you're feeling like, right, have to make a new project, have to look forward, have to start something new, have to pursue something new, and you're being supported by Pluto there. Now Pluto's still in your partnership sector, so your partner might be supporting you. You might be wrapping up a particular chapter with a marriage or a partnership or a relationship, and now you're ready to embrace something new when it comes. So for some of you that could have been that you divorced or you could have got married or something like that. Your relationship status could change your actual title, but with this new moon, I feel the focus is very much on your professional life, your career, and you might be supported by a relationship or a partner at this time, whether that be romantic or business. But let's get you a card, Cancer, and see what we get. We have the Four of Cups. I do feel something didn't work out for you, but we have the Sun underneath, meaning that just because something didn't work out, maybe professionally, or maybe there was a betrayal, or maybe something was misconstrued, or there was a miscommunication that led to an ending, or just an ending in general, Cancer. I feel with the Sun underneath, you're feeling inspired to succeed again. You're feeling inspired to go after something, to achieve something, and you're getting your confidence back, I feel. So that is what I have for you, Cancer, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Leo, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the new moon in Aries for your sign. So Leo, this new moon's happening in your 9th house, meaning that there is an adventure afoot. This is going to be a time where you want to explore, whether that's that you're exploring a foreign land, a different culture, a different belief system, you're exploring a different topic to learn. Maybe you're going to start university, start college, or you're going to start a higher learning course, or you're going to get a degree, or you're going to go backpacking, or you're going to take the trip of a lifetime, the trip you've always wanted to take. Or perhaps you are going to start learning about Buddhism or a different religion or spiritual path, Leo. Or it might actually be as well that you're going to be teaching people maybe about these particular topics. Maybe you're going to start teaching seminars, taking courses, sharing your knowledge, sharing your wisdom. This new moon is going to be supported by Pluto. Pluto is sextiling it, meaning that there's a lot of transformation happening here, and there's going to be destined events in this area. So make sure that you're setting intentions of the highest frequency. You're going to be setting intentions of where you want to go in the world, what you want to learn, how you want to view the world. how you want to expand your life, Leo. There's a square to Mars in your 11th house, so listen, friends might not get it. There might be a bit of challenge, a bit of pushback from your friendships, from your social networks, from your teams, or maybe, maybe you're going on some sort of, maybe you're teaching a course and initially you don't feel like you're getting the interest on social media or something. Don't be discouraged. This is something that you're destined to do, and it's going to be a big part of your life in the next couple of years. Or you might just find that there's some sort of confrontation with a friend if you're traveling with them, or there's some sort of issue to iron out, or if you're, clashing with your university peers or something like that. There could just be a bit of differences when it comes to your friendships, Leo. Let's get you a card and see what's coming up for you. Ah, the Wheel of Fortune, Destiny. I love that. The wheel is turning and underneath is the devil. I feel like a lot of you are breaking a karmic cycle in your life with Pluto leaving your 6th house, which is a very, it's a very karmic house, the 6th house. It's like where you've had a karmic debt of service or something like this. So maybe for some of you, you're ending a karmic cycle, you're breaking a karmic cycle that maybe comes to your physical health. So that could be to do with what you're putting in your body, or that could be to do with the way you're treating your body. With the Wheel of Fortune, I do feel like luck is on the up at this time. Don't forget, it's a fellow fire sign energy, so you may be feeling more energized. But Leo, I really feel as though something fated is occurring for you. Not to mention that there is the Venus North Node conjunction in your 10th house, so perhaps this is a fated event when it comes to your work life. Yeah, or a fated trip. The card underneath that was the World. So there might be some big success going on in your life, Leo. And underneath, yes, of course, underneath that was the Sun. That's amazing. Some sort of big event happening for you. Maybe professionally, Leo. Maybe recognition. Maybe success. Or maybe perhaps you're just entering a chapter where you have learned a lot, or you're going to explore and learn in a way that really lights you up, really makes you excited about life. I think, Leo. That's a very exciting hand, I have to say. So that is what I have for you. I hope you have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the new moon in Aries for your sign. This is happening in your 8th house. Yikes. 8th house. I often find when people discuss the 8th house, it is a house that's considered taboo, so people get quite scared of it, but the times they are changing. So the 8th house, Virgo, for you, this new moon means that there's a new beginning happening here. So you might actually be ending something to facilitate a new beginning. You might be ready to let go of something. Now, what you let go of could be psychological. This could come in the form of working through a phobia. This could come in the form of increasing your knowledge of psychology in order to help yourself. So this is kind of like, I don't mean an armchair psychologist kind of self-help. You might actually be seeking out a therapist or a counselor or someone to help you work through something, especially if you're experiencing, compulsions or obsessions or fears or phobias with the 8th house. This new moon is saying that you really want to transform it. The reason I say that is because it is in this sextile to Pluto, and Pluto is very psychological. So with Pluto still being in Capricorn in the anaretic degree, you might be ready to wrap up something in terms of your belief system that has maybe prevented you from tackling a fear or a phobia or something that has been holding you back on a psychological level. So for a lot of you, this could be a psychological new start, the way that you work with your well-being in that sense, Virgo. And this could also be that you're letting go of something that has been toxic for you, like an addiction to something or using a substance. You don't have to be addicted to it per se, but something that has not been good for you. You might be finally ready to let it go. Now, there is a square to Mars and it's in your 10th house of career. Mars is going to leave your 10th house of career. It's been there since your season began in August 2022. And it feels as though perhaps you're being a bit triggered by people you work with or your career or a goal, or perhaps you're feeling like if you want to achieve a specific goal, you're needing to work through some stuff internally. And it could also be at this time, Virgo, because the 8th house is very financial. It could be that where you're financially linked to someone else, there's a new beginning there. Perhaps there is now someone that is going to be of financial help to you. Perhaps you're getting a loan, perhaps you're getting a grant, or perhaps you're starting a new way of working with your taxes or, working with any money that you have associated with the government or something like that, Virgo. But it feels as though with the conjunction to your ruler, Mercury, you're feeling very inspired to take action on something. You're feeling very inspired to help yourself with this new moon in particular. So whatever it is that you're doing, I feel like you're being very brave, and I feel as though you're really trying to tackle an issue that has maybe not been so productive for you or has not been helpful to you in your life, Virgo. Yes, the Tower. You don't want to build on shaky foundations anymore. So you might be actually breaking something down to rebuild. Do you know how if you have something traumatic that has happened to you and you go to a therapist, you have to go back to it and sort of break down the walls you built around yourself to keep it stuck, well, not to keep it stuck, but to keep it protected or not to look at it. The Tower moment's kind of like that. It's whenever something has been built on a shaky foundation. So you notice that things around you keep failing or they don't work. Perhaps it's a relationship pattern. You keep noticing that relationships aren't working for you. And now Saturn's in your sign, in your opposite sign, you're serious about it. And you realize that the foundation must be coming from your own experience. So you go back to look at it and you start to break it down to rebuild it. Something like that. Virgo, this Tower moment is about making sure that going forward, you're not building on foundations that are unsteady. And with the Chariot underneath, you're getting the victory from it. You're getting the bravery to tackle it, the bravery to go after it. It's also sort of saying to me that a lot of you, if you're feeling a bit off, be very careful about operating machinery or driving a car if you're feeling really agitated or angry or anxious. That's just sort of a message comes up with the Tower and the Chariot, because going for a drive when you're angry or something like that, watch for road rage, because you can be a hindrance to yourself if you are doing that, Virgo. So I feel with the Tower, the wider message is about sometimes breaking it down to have a breakthrough, is what I see with you with all this 8th house activity, because there is a solar eclipse coming up in the 8th house for you as well. And I think that's a time for you to address anything that is maybe holding you back in terms of the patterning or the conditioning that you have, Virgo, just so you can rebuild something stronger and something more resilient for yourself. But that is what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Libra, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the new moon in Aries for your sign. Libra, this is happening in your 7th house of relationships and partnerships. So this can be to do with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your partner, your spouse. It can also be a business partner. It can also be a best friend with the 7th house at times. One-on-one relationships, significant relationships. So this new moon, Libra, I have to say, for those of you that are single, this can absolutely call in a new relationship to you if you're looking. This can also bring some sort of new beginning when it comes to a current relationship. Now, the sextile is to Pluto. So for some of you, this could be that the best thing for your relationship is leaving. That's, you know, depending on the circumstance. If you're completely happy in your relationship, don't take that and get scared. It could be that if you're in a relationship where there's issues, the Pluto sextile is supporting you making the changes necessary to work through them. Or this could simply be that there's some changes going on in your partner's life that you're going to have to begin a new chapter for. You know, there could be some sort of new chapter coming in your life from your partner, something that's going on with them, and then it's changing your relationship as a whole or your life together. There is a square to Mars. Now, Mars does really relationships. There's a square to Mars in Gemini, and for you, that is to do with your 9th house. So this could be that you're not, there could be a bit of jarring when it comes to maybe matters surrounding faith or religion or politics or traveling with a partner. There could be some sort of issue with that that's maybe a bit of a bit of a sore point in a relationship. There could be some sort of disagreement there or some sort of challenge in those areas. The square is quite loose. The sextile to Pluto is very supportive though. So I feel as though with Pluto still hanging around in Capricorn in your 4th house, this change might be coming from moving. This change might be coming from family or your partner's family. There could be something going on there. But it feels like a new beginning in your relationship, Libra. So as I say, if you're single, you could meet someone who actually is from your neighborhood, or you could meet someone through family, or you could meet someone on your doorstep. That does happen. I think the actor Matthew Good, who did he play? I can't think of any of his characters. He was in The Good Wife. Anyway, he met his spouse on his doorstep. So that can be the kind of energy that happens with a new moon in the 7th house, sextiling Pluto in the 4th. But Pluto is about to move into your 5th as well, so triggering love and romance is going to be a big theme for those of you that are single. So let's see what we have going on for you, Libra. The Ace of Swords, new beginnings, clarity, honesty, truth. There seems to be something becoming very clear around this time, especially if it's been a struggle for a while. There's a new beginning, there's an initiation, there's something new going on for you, Libra, something that you're very clear about, you're very determined about. There could also be very significant news around this new moon that is very hard to miss. It won't be confusing. It will be very clear. It'll be very to the point with the Ace of Swords. There is clarity coming in and definitely a new beginning. And if there is a new beginning in your relationship life, it's a meeting of minds. That is what I am seeing. That is what I have for you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. Welcome to the new moon in Aries. Scorpio, this is happening in your 6th house of your physical well-being. So listen, this season is going to focus very much on your health, your well-being, how you're treating your body, how you're moving your body, what you're putting in your body, your routines. I think for a lot of you, especially because we're leading up to an eclipse and the nodes are going to be changing signs, a lot of you are going to be very focused on your physical health. There's a new beginning happening here. Now, it's sextiling your ruler Pluto, so you're feeling very inspired to make changes to better yourself physically, whether that is giving yourself better food, healthier food, whether that's drinking more water, whether that's meditating daily, whether that's taking your health more seriously, which may indeed be the case because this new moon is making aspects to your traditional ruler and your modern ruler. The sextile to Pluto is the strongest, that's your modern ruler. And Pluto is in your 3rd house of communication and of the mind. So perhaps what you're reading, perhaps the information you're taking in is going to inspire you to make changes to your routine, to your habit. You could literally be reading the book Atomic Habits or something like that. You're reading something that inspires you to make changes, that inspires you to eat differently, to exercise differently, or to maybe join a gym, or maybe join dancing, or doing something that really gets you moving your body that you enjoy. It could be running, it could be any of these things. There is a square to Mars, and Mars is your traditional ruler, but Mars is in your 8th house. It's done a very long stint there. So perhaps you're having to let go of something, to sever something that isn't good for your body, because Mars is about severance. So perhaps you're having to give up a particular food group. Perhaps you're having to give up a sport. Perhaps you're having to give up something that's actually really bad for your body at the moment. And that might be kind of challenging. You might be feeling a bit frustrated about that, to be honest, Scorpio, but your health is coming first here. So you might be cutting something out in order to have better health, better physical health and well-being. Some of you could, of course, actually be having surgery under this new moon, but if you are, you know that, you know what I mean? Some of you could be doing something health related, or there could be big events happening in your health that you're, I'd say, already aware of. With Jupiter being there, it's a positive time to be looking after your health and getting benefits from your well-being. So yeah, Scorpio, there's a big focus on your health and well-being. It might also be that you are changing jobs, because we are headed towards an eclipse. You could be changing jobs, your employees could be changing, you could be having, your colleagues could be changing roles, there could be some shifts going around, there could be a new start for you professionally in the workplace that you are. It's very new, it's very fresh. Whatever's going on for you around this time, Scorpio, it's very new, it's very fresh, it's very, you might have to be quite bold. So maybe you're trying something you never had the confidence to do. I don't know why badminton came to my mind. As if you need a real courage to do badminton. Maybe you do, I don't know. I was bad at badminton because I did tennis and I was just really aggressive with the badminton. It's meant to be so much more delicate. But whatever it is that you want to do for yourself, Scorpio, it feels as though it's going to be courageous. You're going to require a bit of confidence. Maybe for some of you that's setting foot in a gym for the first time in a very long time, because going to the gym on your own again after a long period is intimidating. Some of you could be joining a new gym or joining a leisure center or something of that nature, Scorpio. Ooh, the sun, I love that. And the 5 of Wands underneath, which is giving me like jousting energy. You're doing something that's very good for your health and your vitality, Scorpio. That is exciting. You're doing something that is going to make you feel very joyful, very creative, very playful, very rejuvenated. I think a lot of you are going to be giving yourself more of the things that you need, like the sun or something like that. You know, the sun, like we all need the sun to survive is what I mean. So you could be doing something that is going to make you feel very rejuvenated and invigorated are the words that I'm getting for you, Scorpio. You might also find that a Leo is playing a key part in your life at the time of this new moon. That is what I have for you, Scorpio, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the new moon in Aries for your zodiac sign. So Sagittarius, this new moon is happening in your 5th house. This is at 0 degrees. I'm not going to lie. For a lot of you, this could be a pregnancy or a birth, with it being in the 5th house and Jupiter also being there. And it being conjunct Mercury and it being conjunct Neptune, there could for sure be news of a birth or a pregnancy in your life if it's not yours. But this could be the birth of anything. This could be the birth or the inception of something new. This could be a new love relationship that's entering your life. This could be a new creative project. This could be a new hobby, a new passion, something that gives you joy, something that gives you pleasure. With this sextile to Pluto, Sagittarius, in your 2nd house, I feel as though you may have the money to facilitate something new. If it is, a creative project or a hobby, you're feeling supported financially to do so. It might also be that you are feeling like you know what you want to do that will make you happy because it aligns with your values. You've changed your value system a lot since 2008. What matters to you, what you give most importance to in your mind. And that seems to be supporting this. But there does seem to be a transformation going on in your love life, Sagittarius, I will say, because it is conjunct Mercury, which is your 7th house ruler. So some of you might be starting to date somebody new. Some of you might be starting to fall in love with someone. Some of you might be deciding to... there just seems to be a new change going on in your love life, Sagittarius. But as I say, for many of you, it could be a birth or a pregnancy. But if it's not, it can be a hobby. Moons, whether it's new moon or full moon in the 5th house, can be related to the things we love to do. But this is certainly an interesting time to be dating. The square to Mars in your 7th house of relationships makes me feel as though partnerships, romantic relationships are very activated under this new moon. There is a new chapter, a new cycle happening there. And, maybe part of this new chapter is ironing through a few things with a partnership or a potential partnership or something like that, Sagittarius, because you have had Mars retrograde in your 7th house, and Mars has been in your 7th house since August, which is a very long time to have a malefic in your relationship sector. Could have caused a few irritations with a relationship, but I feel like this new moon is a new start when it comes to your love life and the things that you love to do and the fun that you're having. We have the 9 of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups is underneath. So a lot of you might actually not be looking for love and it might smack you in the face. You could be feeling very independent, very free, and then all of a sudden somebody comes along on a white horse and you're like, ooh. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting from this. But with the sextile to Pluto in your 2nd house of income and money, I feel as though with this, there is maybe something creative you're doing or something you love to do that is going to make you money. Or maybe now you're doing something that you love to do that is making you money. Or whatever it is that you're doing for money, you're having a lot of fun with. It feels as though financially things are looking up for you, Sagittarius. And with the Knight of Cups, I also feel romantically you may be attracting someone who is maybe financially quite well off, or someone who's got their stuff together, or someone who is quite independent by nature. And that usually is something that's attractive to you, Sagittarius. But that's what I have for you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the new moon in Aries for your sign. So Capricorn, this new moon is happening in your 4th house of home, family and emotional security. This is a very vulnerable house. This new moon for you, Capricorn, there seems to be a change in your living situation. For a lot of you, this could be that you're moving home. This could be that you're going to change your place of residence quite significantly in the next few months, because we are leading up to a solar eclipse in your 4th house. You might be changing where you live. You might be buying a home. You might be selling a home. You might be renting somewhere new. You might be getting planning permission for something. You could be building your dream home. It feels as though, Capricorn, there's a change when it comes to your living situation for a lot of you. If it's not that, there seems to be a new beginning, a new chapter coming to your family. So this might be in addition to your family. This might be that someone that you live with is maybe they're moving out, or maybe they're moving somewhere, or maybe you have a family member going through a significant change in their life and this is impacting you. It might also be that a lot of you are beginning a new chapter when it comes to family. Perhaps you're looking into your ancestry. Perhaps you're looking into your family tree. Perhaps you're clearing some ancestral karma leading up to that solar eclipse. and maybe you're working through some things with a family member, or there's a new chapter in your relationship with a family member coming to you, Capricorn. But it really, I really feel like a lot of you are going to move in the next year and a half. I can't lie. And to some of you, that might be a normal thing. You might think, well, yeah, my lease is due and I'm going to move, so that's whatever. But for some of you, the change could be quite significant that you might not necessarily have anticipated. But this is an interesting one in terms of new beginnings. So if you do want to manifest a home and you're not there yet, this is the perfect time to set intentions, to draw up a vision board. For some of you, this could be renovating. And if you are renovating, it feels like you're doing a different style to what you've done before. Say you've always gone for grays, you're now going for color or something like that. So this new moon, Capricorn, is going to be sextiling Pluto while Pluto is still in the final degree of your sign. So I feel like you're feeling the changes happening within you and how this is maybe impacting your relationship with your family in a supportive way. And perhaps this is also a case that you yourself are happy with the changes that are happening in your home and family, maybe your living situation. Capricorn, you're feeling like this is something that works for you, or you're feeling, as I say, that the work that you've been doing, the healing you've been doing, the changes you've been making are maybe helping your family, and you're noticing it play out. It could be subtle. You could be noticing it play out in your family dynamic, and you're thinking, yeah, I did that, or I was working through that, or I helped with that, I supported that. And maybe you're feeling quite grateful. Now, the square to Mars is an interesting one for you, Capricorn, because Mars is in Gemini, which for you is your 6th house. So you could be feeling a little bit tired, a little bit run down. There could be some tensions at work, or you could just be feeling like, say you're renovating, you could be feeling physically kind of exhausted by it, or you could be feeling a bit run down by the renovations that you're making on a health perspective, like physically run down, Capricorn. You could also be feeling kind of stressed, balancing maybe your workload, the work that you're doing, and the changes that you're making when it comes to home, or your duties when it comes to family. But there are going to be big changes coming to your home, family, living situation, Capricorn. As I say, I had eclipses in my 4th house and I didn't think I would move. I moved right under one of the eclipses, and it wasn't planned that way. But changes do happen with eclipses. And we're heading into that season. The North Node is going to go into your 4th house in July. You can bet that home and family is going to be a big part of your life. So let's see what we have going on for you, Capricorn. Wow, Leo got this too. So if you have Capricorn or Leo in your big 3, there's destined changes coming to you. Fate has a hand in your destiny around the time of this new moon, and I feel like you're going to be given something, or you're going to be it's almost as if with the 6 of Pentacles, you're going to be giving something to someone else, or someone's going to be giving something to you. Some of you could be coming into some money. Some of you could be, Pluto's moving into your 2nd house. Some of you could be coming into some big money. You could be coming into some payout from something. It could be that your pay is increasing, but I feel as though money is changing for you, Capricorn, and I think it's in a pretty good way, to be perfectly honest. I feel like destiny has a hand in your finances at the moment, but also destined people entering that can help you in some capacity, or that you can help, Capricorn. But that's what I have for you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. Aquarius, this new moon is happening in your 3rd house. This could manifest as a new beginning when it comes to what you're learning. You might decide you want to learn a language. You might feel inspired to learn a language. You might feel inspired to take a short course, to take a seminar, to take a lecture, to learn something new, to enhance your knowledge in some capacity in a small way, Aquarius. Maybe take like a 1-term night course or something like this. This can also be that you're going to start teaching a class. This can also be that you're going to have some sort of new beginning when it comes to your relationship with a sibling, or there's a new beginning in a sibling's life, or you're getting a new neighbor, or you're starting something new with a cousin in your life. These areas are highlighted around this time because the 3rd house rules cousins, neighbors, and siblings. So there can be a new beginning happening for you in that area, Aquarius. But this can also be a time when you come into some news. This could be that you get a communication that's very significant with it being in the 3rd house. You maybe get a letter, you maybe get something like a message, a DM, you maybe get something that's facilitating a new beginning. So there might be like a letter arrives to your home that you've been waiting to hear about, and this facilitates a new beginning in your life. There's a square to Mars in Gemini, which is your 5th house. So there could be a little bit of tension with a child in your life, or you could be feeling a little bit creatively there could be a bit of creative tension maybe, especially if you're a writer. But the sextile to Pluto is significant because Pluto is about to enter your first house. So destined events can be happening for you in your life at this time, Aquarius. You could be wrapping up a karmic chapter that began in 2008. Okay, so this can be a chapter of your life that is being wrapped up. You might have noticed something beginning in 2008 that is now coming to a close. With Pluto entering your sign, can be very destined and strange events happening around you, big changes, big transformations, and you're really leaning into that. And maybe that's what's facilitating the news. But the sextile to Pluto, while Pluto's in your 12th house, it means that the healing that you've been doing is perhaps paying off in terms of your relationship with a sibling, or maybe the healing they've been doing, or a neighbour or something like that. Or maybe a neighbour is leaving your neighbourhood and you're feeling quite relieved about this, or there's something like that, Aquarius. This one's kind of interesting because there's so much happening with Pluto entering your sign that any news that happens around this time could be pretty significant. I feel like the square to Mars is suggesting that maybe romantically you're feeling a bit frustrated, or maybe there's been a few romantic challenges, or if you have children, some challenges with children, they could be acting up, they could have been acting up or being a bit aggressive or angry. Or if you're a creative, if you work creatively, or the things that you like to do for fun, you might be feeling a bit annoyed about something that you do for fun, Aquarius. There's definitely news coming in for you. We have the Knight of Wands and the Ace of Swords. There is news, there's information coming to you. Judgment underneath, it could be quite big. Some of you could be planning a trip. This news could be coming in from afar. There's a very significant message coming to you, actually, and it could be to do with a fire sign. It could be to do with love. I just noticed the Lovers is underneath there, and the Star. My goodness. There could be big news coming up for you around this time, Aquarius. Make sure that you're paying attention to who's communicating with you, who's writing to you, who's talking to you around this time, because there seems to be knowledge coming to the fore with this new moon in the 3rd house. But as I say, of course, as well, the Ace of Swords and the Knight of Wands, you could be teaching or you could be taking a course, Aquarius, that's significant to you at this time. That's what I have for you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Pisces, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to the new moon in Aries. So Pisces, this new moon is ushering in a new beginning when it comes to your finances. This could be that the figures on your pay slip could be changing at this time. You could be coming into some money. You could be setting up a new way of making money. You could be increasing your salary. You could be getting a raise or a promotion. It could also be that perhaps you are beginning something, because Aries is your 2nd house. A lot of Pisces risings in particular tend to be self-employed or have some form of self-employment. You could be pursuing that at this time. If it's not to do with money, you could actually be receiving a gift at this time. So the last time there was a new moon, I have an Aquarius rising friend, and last month there was a new moon in her 2nd house, and it was at 0 degrees. It was the new moon in Pisces, and Pisces rules the feet. She was actually gifted a new pair of trainers completely randomly on the day of the new moon. So for you, this could actually be a new hat, because Aries is to do with the head. It could be a new pair of glasses. It could be a new hat. You could be receiving a gift that is to do with, the head, as it were. Like a new hat or something like that. Don't run away with my words. But this feels as though there is a new beginning happening for you financially for the most part, Pisces. So as I say, this could be a new way of making money. You could have a new idea that leads to making money. The sextile to Pluto. Now, Pluto is in your 11th house. So this could be that you have support coming from social media. This could be making more money from a social media account or a social media business, or through a group project, or through friends or something like that. Or your friends are supporting what it is that you do for money. Or you're finding that maybe your reach is further at this time. Now, there's a square to Mars in your 4th house, so there could be a bit of family tension going on around this time, or maybe you want to move homes and you're frustrated at your living situation, and this is inspiring you to make financial changes and make more money. Or perhaps you're purchasing something at this time, Pisces. But it feels as though there's a new beginning happening for you in your financial life. So let's see what we have going on for you, Pisces. The Queen of Wands. Yeah, you're feeling very inspired, very confident. You want to go after something, and I feel like for a lot of you it is a way of making money. You want to pursue something. Maybe it's a business. Page of Cups is underneath. This could be creative. Or Justice underneath. It could be legal. And then the Two of Cups. For some of you as well, this new moon is conjunct Mercury. Perhaps there could be communication when it comes to your love life, especially if you are in a relationship or you're married. There could be some sort of maybe gift coming from a partner, or if you're single, this could be communication with a love interest. But I feel with the Queen of Wands, what this is saying is that you have the confidence, you have the passion, and maybe that's attracting opportunities to you. But I do feel as though with the Page of Cups, you may be getting a message around this time as well. The Venus North Node conjunction is happening in your 3rd house, so this could be a sign that some sort of message is coming your way. But that's what I have for you, Pisces, and I'll talk to you soon.